Hey there, I'm Shauna and welcome to Yoga Snacks. Yoga nourishment for the body, mind, and spirit. Okay, so today we're going to do some yoga that's good for strengthening the core and back and the back. And so I actually had a special request for this, so that's where it's coming from. To begin, let's begin lying down. And I always like to have a blanket for my head. I've got some other things here. I've got a belt and some blocks and my chair's nearby. So you might want to have stuff handy. Okay, and then let's go. So lie down on your back and have your knees bent, feet on the floor, feet pointing straight ahead. And we're going to start actually with some breathing. So bring your hands onto your belly and let's say the lower part of the belly. So a little bit closer to the hips. And for now, just breathe naturally and look for the feeling of your breath showing up in your belly. So as you inhale, belly expands a little, and as you exhale, belly contracts. Just see if that's happening. If not, don't worry, just notice. And then we're also going to exaggerate it a little bit. So as you inhale, let the belly fill. So think of breathing down into your belly. That's all the effort you really need to do. And as you exhale, breathe out, and maybe using your hands, maybe using your abdominal muscles, slightly squeeze the breath empty. And do that a few times. Inhaling, let the breath push the belly open, and exhaling, just contracting the abdominal muscles, deeper ones preferably, but just enough that it kind of pushes the breath up. And test it out. If it's confusing, don't do it, or if it makes you feel bad, don't do it. But otherwise, it's inhaling, filling, exhaling, emptying. And as you do this breathing, also just feel and notice if the body moves at all. So often when we inhale, there's a little bit of an arch into the back, and when we exhale, there's a little bit of a contraction. And so just let's exaggerate that a little bit too. So as you inhale, create a small arch in your back, and as you exhale, let your lumbar muscles press to the mat. And just see what that's like, tipping and breathing. Great. You can take a little break, and now we're going to bring the hands into it and turn it into a yoga sit-up. So the hands interlace behind the head, elbows open wide across the chest, and reconnect to the breathing again. So as you inhale, slightest arch in the lower back. Exhale, lower back presses, but hips stay down. Inhale, slight arch. Exhale, lower back kind of presses, belly empties, and then lift your head and maybe just the tops of the shoulder blades off of the floor. And then inhale, go back, elbows rest, slight arch into the back. And we'll repeat. Exhale, tiny sit up, curling up. Inhale down. And maybe two more. Inhale down. Exhale, curl up. I'm not a very good counter, so I've already lost count, but let's say that's the last, and you can take your arms out to shoulder height and sweep the legs from side to side. Great. Okay, then legs back. And this time, actually just bring your right knee in towards your chest. When you exhale, think of using the leg to squeeze the belly empty, and inhale back the leg away. So actually, let's do it with two first. So you're exhaling, you're squeezing empty, inhale back away. And maybe your legs don't come this close. That's okay. You can hold with your edges of your hands against your thighs or hands against the shin. Inhale back away. Exhale, close. Okay. And then let's put the left one down and only do the right. And we're going to actually take the knee and bring it a little bit towards the center of the chest. So as you exhale, you hug the leg in, think of the belly as emptying. Inhale back away. Exhale, hugs in. And one more like that. Okay, so let's take the left hand behind the head and see if we can bring a little sit up into this. So as you exhale, curl up, bring your right knee in a little bit diagonally. And as you exhale, probably still exhaling, bring your left elbow up towards your right knee. They don't need to touch. Shoulder lifts, kind of a curl. Inhale back away. And then let's repeat. Exhale, everything curling. Inhale back off. Exhale, curling. Inhale back off. One more. Exhale, curling, hold. Go back down and rest your leg. Bring your hands down. Breathe normally. And then let's do the other side. So bring your left leg in, initially just towards your shoulder, back it away. Connect with your breath, exhaling, kind of squeezing the belly empty. Inhale back away. Exhale, squeezing in. Inhale back away. Okay, and then we're going to angle it more towards the middle. Exhale in. Inhale away. Exhale in. Oops, exhale in, inhale away, and then let's bring the arm into it. So back the leg away. You can use your left hand to help. As you exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, back off. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, back off. A couple more. Back off. And last one. Awesome. And then just have a little rest. And bring your feet together, your knees open, and let's let the lower back be pressing a little bit towards the floor. Breathe naturally, but stabilize this core area by releasing your back towards the floor. Heels coming in, it doesn't matter how much, and think of the back body as moving towards your heels. If you feel like it, you could take your arms overhead and reach in the opposite direction. Okay, and then knees up, arms down. And let's roll over onto the side. Use your hands to lift yourself up and turn to face whatever way makes sense. So I'm going to be on the knees, so you might want to add a little extra padding for your knees and come to this tabletop position. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Most people know this cat-cow, so we do this a lot in this practice. So actually it's the same thing. You let the belly kind of drop in the cow and exhale, rounding your spine in the cat. And this is, we've got way more movement in cat-cow, but just work with these both. Okay, and then something a little bit different. So keep the cat action in the hips, but start to lift your chest. And so you can't, it creates a lot of restriction. So you can let the hips tip forward slightly, but not all the way like the cow. So you keep some tone and you lift your chest. Feel that, maybe a little bit straining, but we want to feel a lot of stability in your hips. And then you reach your right leg back, toes curled under. So a little bit like a half plank. One leg's doing plank and the rest of you is not. Well, no, that's not true. Shoulders are, other legs having a break. Just put the right knee down and do half plank on the left. Curl the toes under, press back through the heel. Then knee down. Then if you're up for it, we'll do full plank. If you need to just repeat half plank, you can. Press back through your heels. You want the chest kind of broad and open, but the lower abdomen more toned, almost like a cat. Great. And then put your knees down, toes together, stretch your hips back towards your heels, rest onto your feet. If you can't do this, just do something that feels relaxing for yourself. You can rest your head onto your hands. Feel your breath. Okay. And then let's take the arms forward, come back up. So we're going to go back into that knees position. A cow, a cat, in between, I don't know what we would call that, meow. That was a little joke. Straighten your right leg, press out through your right heel like you're going to do the plank, but then lift this leg. And maybe it's coming up to the height of your hip. Keep a little bit of toning into your lower area, and then if you feel like you can pick up your left arm, pick up your left arm. This is great. If you need a rest, take a rest. If you want to try something fancy, bend your left elbow and bring your right knee and your left elbow to touch one another, and then stretch it out. And let's repeat. Left elbow, right knee. Inhale, straighten, and once more. Right elbow, left knee. Great. Straighten, and then put your foot down, your knee down, your hand down. Take a big breath. Let's try it on the other side. So, pressing into your hands, reaching back through your left foot. Remember, you can stay here if this is challenging enough for you today. Otherwise, you could pick the leg up. Test that out. Maybe this is where you stay, or if it feels like you could pick up your right arm, pick up your right arm, reach. And then, again, stay or elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. Elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. One more, elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. And then everything down. And let's take the knees wide, sit the hips back into child, and have a little rest. Okay, from here we're going to come up. But come up slow using the abdominals to stabilize us a little bit. So curl the toes under, press into your hands. Start to walk the hands back towards the feet, keeping the knees bent. As you start to come up, maybe your hands hold your legs. And think of that cat spine, so you're rounded a little bit in back. Always fix your shirt if you're on TV. And then start to slowly uncurl the spine using the front body muscles to stabilize the spine. Slowly, 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 slowly come up. And then circle your shoulders back and forward. And shake everything out. Great. Okay, so move this out of the way, and this is where I'm going to bring my chair in. My chair on the mat, and try something a little bit similar. So come to stand, face your chair, put your hands onto your chair seat, and walk your feet back. Stretching your hips back, back, back towards the center of the room. Lengthen through the side waists. And stay. And you can notice here, if you remember the cat-cow and the tilting of the pelvis, the tilting of the spine, just find what feels like a neutral position for your spine where there's some stability here, but a little bit of openness into your chest. Okay, and then we come back, we have a little rest. Come all the way up to stand just for a few moments. Feel your breath and your heartbeat. And then hands onto the chair seat and walk back. Okay, this time a little bit more fancy. So here have your heels and your hips mostly lined up. Oh, luckily I have a picture there I can see. Bend the right knee in, maybe come onto the right toes, look forward, and then straighten your right leg back. And that can be pretty hard, actually. So you can have your toes down, you can have it lifted a little, but eventually the leg comes up in line with the other hip. Eventually the heel stretches back, and the two sides of the waist lengthen. You can be a lot closer to the chair if you need. But here we are using that core strength. And then step your right foot forward, like you're taking a big step. And come up onto your fingertips so you can face the chair. If it has a nice high back like mine, you can reach your hands forward onto the upper back of the chair and fold forward. Sometimes gives your back just a nice release. From here, bring your hands down and put your left foot onto the floor, turned out a little bit. So I'm still using my chair. I'm going to put my left hand in the middle of the chair, scratch my nose just for fun, and then turn to look to the right. Hips stay pretty level, right hand on the hip, shoulders turn, comes into the revolved triangle pose. Inhale, untwist, and walk your feet back. Excuse me, folding forward from the hips. Let's have a break in between, so walk yourself all the way up towards the chair, pause. Okay, and then hands on chair, walk back, second side. Excuse me. And then keep the weight into the right foot, bend the left knee, and start to pick up the left leg. Stretch your left leg back. Use those belly muscles hugging towards the spine a little bit to stabilize. Tailbone lengthening towards back leg. Great. And then step the left foot forward. Big step or little step, come up. Onto your fingertips. You can take your hands towards the back edge of the chair, the upper back of the chair, or whatever you reach. And then hands down onto the seat of the chair. Turn the right leg out a little bit so the foot turns. Turn to face the chair, right hand on the center of the chair, left hand onto the sacrum, and turn to look to the left. Inhale and untwist. And let's finish by stepping the foot back, folding forward, opening through your side ribs. And then walk yourself all the way up to the chair. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, stand up. Just take a moment where you breathe and feel. Just let everything settle. Okay, we'll move our chair off to the side again, and let's go down towards the floor. So we'll go down the way we came up. Just tuck the chin, let your spine curl down, bend your knees, and then bring your hands to the floor and walk your feet back. So if you wanted, you get a little opportunity to be in plank. Otherwise, hands and knees is great. And then touch the knees down and bring your torso forward, lowering yourself onto your stomach. Here, if you're using a mat, just make sure you've got your whole body on the mat. Bring the elbows under the shoulders. The fingers are spread. This pose is called Sphinx. Press into your forearms and press the tops of the feet. Just take some awareness towards your back spine. Let it be broad back here, and also a sense that if you had a tail, your tail would be lengthening towards your feet. Wide across your collarbones, and come into the Sphinx. You can, eyes open or closed. If it's too intense, elbows go forward, If it's okay here, then you might even make it a little bit into a baby cobra position. Bhujangasana is the cobra. This is a gentle version of that pose. Arms are straight, chest is lifted, and here we're strengthening the back while we stretch the front, maybe even look up. And then come on down. Rest your head onto your hands. Keep your forehead resting on your hands and pick up your right leg. Reach back with your right foot, press your hands into the mat to lift the head, shoulders, chest. And if you feel steady, you can take your left arm forward and just lengthen in opposite directions, diagonal. Leg goes down, rest your head. Feel your breath. Then lift your left leg, reach back through your left foot. You can lift your head, shoulders, chest, reach your right arm forward. Then come on down. This time a little bit more. Lift both legs, lift head, shoulders, chest, and da-da-da, reach your arms forward. Sometimes that's hard on the back. Come on down. So there's a couple other variations we can do. Hands could be back by the ribs. Lift your legs, lift your head, shoulders, chest. Come on down, rest. You can turn your head one way or the other if you'd like. Otherwise, we're going to keep doing this fun pose. Press up with your hands, lift with your feet, lift your head, shoulders, chest. Ta-da. And then come on down, rest your head, bend your knees, rock legs from side to side. Okay, and then from here, if you like, you can press back into a child pose where your hips are on your heels. Otherwise, we're going to stretch into downward dog. So fingers are spread, press into the palms, outer hips lift, a little bit like the pose we did with the chair. Exhale completely, emptying the belly and using that to support the spine. And then just breathe freely. Okay, and then from here we come down to hands and knees. Carefully swing the legs out. And we're going to move down onto our back again. So this time, if you have something like a block, a thick book could work too. We'll use it. The pose is called bridge pose. So you take the block, put it between the two thighs. So as you're squeezing the block, I guess you could also go sideways like this. Feet are pointing straight ahead. Let's bend the elbows and press into the elbows. Squeeze the block with your thighs as you lift your hips and lengthen your knees in that direction. What direction, Shauna? Away from your head. Thighs hug block, hips lift, elbows press so the chest is open. And then hips go down, rest your arms. Have a break. I think that one's good to do more than once. You could try it without the block, but same action. Legs are kind of hugging in. That's called adducting. Press into your elbows, lift your hips. Sometimes we call this one a wedge, so it's sometimes called Dvipadapitam, also called Setubandha. Lots of names. And then come on down. Okay, getting ready to have a little rest. Have something under your head again, maybe your blanket. Sometimes the back is a little tender. Hug your knees, maybe rock from side to side. Take a few breaths. The hands can hold the shins or the backs of the thighs. And let's do one more pose before we close. So if you have a belt or something like a belt, you can use that. Put the belt around the center of the right foot. Straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling, stretching open the back of the knee. Elbows can bend, hands can hold the strap, one in each hand. And you decide whether you want to keep your left leg bent or left leg straight. Toes could point up. Take in a few breaths. Okay, then bend the left knee. Let your right ankle rest onto your left thigh. Bring the leg in and hold around the back of the thigh if you can reach, or you can keep the foot on the floor. Okay, and then left foot down, right foot down. Pick up the belt, put it around the arch of the left foot. Straighten up. Chest is open. If you like, right leg is straight with the toes pointing up and the heel centered. And then you can bend the knee, place the left ankle on the right thigh, bring the two legs in. And as you put your foot down, put your other foot down, slide the legs along the floor. Arms can turn open. Let your whole body rest. Absolutely nothing left to do. As always, give yourself as much time as you like in this relaxation pose at the end of practice. Don't skimp on relaxation. It's really good for you. Just let the body rest, tune into your breath, fall asleep if you must. When you're ready, you just carefully roll out. I'm going to tune out now. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope to see you again next time. Namaste.